Brian Moore and Jordan Winski in the bantamweight division. Now, this is a short notice fight. This fight was originally supposed to be Brian Moore and Jared Scoggins, which would have been an absolute banger of a fight. I probably would have gone for Jared Scoggins to win that fight. I mean, he definitely has amazing striking, really good grappling as well. But now, on short notice, Jordan Winski and Brian Moore in the bantamweight division. I was watching a little bit of film on Jordan Winski. He has a pretty solid record of 11 wins, 2 losses. He's known more for his power and his striking than anything, and some really good right hands, a really good left cross as well. If he's gonna want to win this fight, he's probably gonna need a knockout. But I'm not too sure why they have him as a favorite right here, 71% to 29%, mainly just because of that record. A lot of people on these Tapology predictions go out there, look at 11-2 and look at a 13-7 record, and they're like, all right, the better record guy is gonna win. He's the younger, he has the reach advantage, the height advantage. He's gonna win the fight. That's not necessarily the case, because Brian Moore has fought some killers inside of Bellator, fought AJ McKee Jr., Daniel Weichel, and put on really, really good fights. I mean, against AJ McKee Jr., the striking was quite even, to be honest. He landed a lot of good shots in that fight, closed the distance very, very well, and landed some really, really good hard shots on AJ McKee Jr. in that fight. He is really good at closing the distance, getting your back to the cage, and just throwing combinations. That's why most likely this fight is probably going to be a knockout in the first or second round, because Jordan Winski has a lot of power in his hands, and then Brian Moore obviously has a lot of power in his hands as well. But I do think Brian Moore is the more powerful puncher, the faster puncher, has way better movement on the feet. I mean, his striking defense is really solid as well. I think he's going to move forward, get Jordan Winski's back to the cage, throw a lot of combinations, then eventually get the knockout in the first or second round right there. I encourage all of you, go watch the fight with AJ McKee Jr. It was 3.5 years ago, but in that first round, his boxing and the way he was controlling the fight and moving AJ McKee Jr. to the back of the cage over and over again, it looked pretty good. I mean, he ended up losing the fight. He was losing in the striking game, but if you're able to move a guy back, like an AJ McKee Jr. to the back of the cage, I think you're going to be able to do that to a guy like Jordan Winski right here. So my prediction, Brian Moore moving a Jordan Winski to the back of the cage and just throwing combinations, eventually landing a good right cross or left hook and knocking out Jordan Winski in the first or second round right there. Should be a really good fight in the bantamweight division right there.